Alright lads, today we're figuring out my GTA net worth. So this is going to be interesting because I don't even know it myself. Got a lovely, lovely company name here. If you know, you know.
I gotta have me my boots and hoes, boots and hoes, boots and hoes. I gotta have me my boots and hoes.
A lot of the cars and products and businesses I'm going to show you today, I don't even know the exact amount I've earned from them. And I don't know the exact amount I've put into them because, of course, I don't get bank statements from Rockstar. But, you know, I'm going to do my best to show you how we live on the West Coast. So my first car that I want to show you is the Ocelot XA21. It is a ridiculous car and it's valued at 2.375 mil. And it's no longer available. So it's a very nice car, but you know, you can't get it. So right, this car is the Lampadati Tygon. I'm probably going to butcher half these names, but here they are anyway. This car is valued at 2.31 million, which is pretty good. And I don't think you can get this one either, or that's what my sources are telling me. But yeah, it's a very nice car. I don't use it a great deal, but it's a very nice car. This car is the Tyrus. A lot of us have seen this one. This car is very clean, very nice, and it sounds amazing. And it is valued at 2.55 million. Which is kind of crazy. We're 3 cars in and we're almost at 10 mil. This car is the Grotti Turismo, just call it a Turismo. I've blacked it out. I like the darker look on cars, the more blue look, but this is only 500,000 this one, but it was one of my earlier cars. I remember this was a first paycheck spend. It's a very nice car. So yeah, would recommend as a starter. This is the Overflowed All-Touch. Yeah, we'll go with that. Very nice car, valued at 1,955,000. Moves very nicely. More of a sports racing car rather than your fun drift cars, but still very nice. This right here is the Vaca of, yeah, I'm going to say Vaca. It is supposed to be a Lambo, as you can see. This is only 240,000, which is really nice considering if you're looking at it. And it moves like crazy. Stats are very good as well, so yeah, if you can't get the Turismo, get this one for a starter car because it's pretty nice. This one is the Dominator GTX. Very nice car, very fancy. I know it's not the same, but I do get like Bumblebee vibes from it. This car is valued at 725,000. Right, this one is the Paragon R. Honestly, I don't remember buying this. I think this was a podium vehicle winner. But it's a bit of a flex car, a bit of a Louis Vuitton vibe, and it's valued at 905,000. This is the Cheetah Classic. Very nice car, very fun, good handling. It is valued at 865,000. This one is the Tyrant, not to be confused with the Tyrus, which I showed you earlier. This car's crazy, as you can see. It's a big old fucking car as well, but it's very nice to drive. I've not driven it a crazy amount, but it's very nice to drive, and it is actually valued at 2,515,000, which is kind of nuts considering I barely use it. But you know what they say, the rich get richer. So yeah, I just got this shit. This one is the LG, right? You all know that, or you should know this. This is simply just the. This is on the Benny's Workshop website, and it's actually for free, this car. But of course I've pimped it out a little bit because I think it is a very nice looking car. So yeah, it was free, but with most of my cars I'd probably put a 500,000 to 1.5 mil into it, simply because it makes it look nicer, makes it perform better. So why wouldn't I? Right, this one is the Tailgater. Looking at it now, it is quite nice, but I think the colour I should change because it just kind of looks like Uh, it looks shit. Okay, the colour looks shit, but it does the job, and it's valued at 1,495,000. This office as well. It
Anything you
cost.
need, boss.
Interrupt me again, and I'll have your head. Okay. Moment of clarity. All right. Yeah, this office itself is it was the cheapest one when I bought it, but it was valued at £1 million, and it is still £1 million, I believe. Of course, when you've purchased it, you can't actually see on the website, so I'm just looking it up. As you can see, I've put a lot into renovations to make it look all fancy. I don't know how much exactly, but I think it was about another £1 million. Judging by the other prices on there, it was more than. So I'm going to say it's another £1 million. So that's
Remember,
£2
I'll
million.
do anything as long as it's legal. Ish.
Okay, she interrupted me again.
I'm getting really sick of you!
But another thing you may want to know, I do have all the garages I bought because I used to keep all my cars here. And I ended up buying all the fancy, like I bought this to make it look all nice. But it turns out it would, like, I say, all of them have their nice interior. But it would only do the first floor out of 3. Right, it would look like this on the first floor, like this. That was a spoiler to the cars. Nice, very bougie. And then it gets to the higher floors, and it's not at all like that. It's no shiny floors, no nothing. And then it gets to the roof, and it's absolute dog. But there you go. There was a little spoiler to the cars, in case you haven't already skipped forward to them. But yeah, that is what they are at the minute, which is a bit annoying because I spent a lot of money for it. I wanted it all to look like this, but it didn't. So that's why I don't keep as many cars here anymore, because it doesn't look as nice. Like when you have the cars that I have, you want it to be in more of a showroom rather than a petrol station. So yeah. This car in itself is just a Futo, but it is a very nice car and it does drive very well. This car is the Jester race car, because there's a few Jesters, and it's valued at 240,000, but it isn't actually available anymore. This is a very old car that I had. It was the nicest looking that I had at the time, and it drives very well. This one is the Comet Retro. Very nice car, very good at drifting, very fun to drive, to be honest. And this is valued at 645,000. But I do remember putting a good like £1 million into. This is the Kuruma. Some of you may know it from the Fleecer heist job. It's actually valued quite cheap at 126,000. But if you do the Fleecer job, then it goes down to 95,000. So very nice car. I don't use it because it's a bit outdated, but yeah, very nice. This is the Bravado Gauntlet, right? And there's actually a story. This is my very first car on GTA, like from, I don't even know when I got this game. But I got this, and when you bought a little garage, you could drive a car into it if it was eligible. And this was the first car I ever drove in. It used to be blue with a black stripe, but now it's just more of a memory token, but it's still an amazing car. So yeah. So this was free, but I probably put in about 500,000 into it. This is the Phoenix, valued at 20k. Honestly, I don't really have a story for this one, but yeah. This one is the Massacro. It's a very nice car. It's quite fast, very good. It's valued at 385,000. This is the Gauntlet Hellfire. A very nice car, as you can see, and it's valued at £745,000. This one is the Caracara. Probably butchered that, absolutely have. But this is actually valued at 875,000. It's a very Dwayne Johnson looking car. is extremely fast and is amazing off-road. So if you like off-roading, like just having a bit of fun, it's a tank as well, then I'd definitely say to get this. It's crazy. Right, this is the JB700W. You remember this from the story mode. It's like it's the James Bond car. It's got guns on it, spikes coming off the back, hence why I tried to make it look all classy and James Bondy. Feels a bit like Finn McMissile, if you've ever seen Cars. If you haven't seen Cars, then fuck off and die. Yeah, it's actually valued at 1,470,000. But of course I have put more into that, so we're going to round it up to about 2 million. This one is the Remus. This is honestly such a fun car. I've just made it look very fast and furious-y, Tokyo Drift like. It's actually valued at 1,370,000. The trade price is 1,027,500, but I definitely didn't pay that. I paid more, and yeah, judging by the look of this, I'm going to round this up to 2 mil because things like turbo and armour don't come cheap. This one is the Komoda. It's valued at 1.7 million, and I've definitely put much more into that because you just do with these cars. Buying them without any modifications or upgrades it's good, but it doesn't do it justice. So I'm going to put this up to 2.5 million. This one is the Corinne Sultan RS. It's actually cheap when you buy it. It's 12 grand. But when you put in the Benny's job for it, it's actually 795,000. And I've put a lot of upgrades on it, and these wheels alone are incredibly expensive. I think I remember them being a few $100,000 at least. So I say I'm probably just going to round this to 1.7 mil just to be smart. It could be more, 315,000. But if you are a returning player, so you've been here a while, then it's free for you, which I'm pretty sure it was free for me. Free for returning players, and then 230,000 for the non-returning players. This one is the Dukes, I think that's how you say it, and it's only valued at 62,000. This one is the Burger Shop, clearly. This is the Stallion one. But yeah, this was free for returning players, which is why I have it, and then 277,000 if you are not a returning player. This is actually a very fun car. I've driven it. It's a lot better than you'd think. It's a lot better than it looks. But this is valued at 1,175,000. This one was 535,000, but for returning players it was free. This is my apartment. I never use it, as you know, in GTA you just don't use it for anything. I think this is, I bought it just so I could do the Fleecer heist. Yep, but this is valued at 270,000. I don't need to tell you, 270,000 in the UK would barely get you a parking spot. Now we're in the apartment garage, and this is honestly my nicer collection. It is the Fast and Furious cars that I have. So this is the Penumbra. This is honestly the best drifting car in the game. I will die on that hill. It is incredible. And this is of course Brian's first car from the first Fast and Furious movie. You should know, if you watch the films, then I don't really need to explain it, but yep, that's there. And this is 1.3 mil, or 1,380,000 to be specific. I have put more money into this car than probably any other car, because I've changed it about so many times. So I'm easily putting this at about 2.5 million. Just in terms of money I've spent on this. The car itself, a lot cheaper than that, but how much I've spent into it. And this car is valued at 815,000, but I reckon I spent more on the wheels and this big fucker alone, so I'm definitely just going to put this one up to 1.5 million. Right, this is the Jester Classic. It's a bit more expensive than the Jester race car. This is valued at 790,000. I would probably say that I've spent about 1.5 mil yet again. This one is the Banshee. This is the Benny's job on it. The Banshee itself is actually very cheap. You can even just drive it into your garage, but when you get the upgrade on it, it is 565,000, and of course I have put a lot more money into it to make it look like Han's car in Tokyo Drift. So I would probably put this, I'm gonna say, I know I keep saying 1.5 mil, but I do spend around about like 500,000 to a mil upgrading a car. As I don't really use this, it was just more of a decorating one. I would probably just put this one at about 1.2 million. So this is what the Elegy R8 RH8 would look like if you done the Benny's conversion. You saw the Elegy I had before, but this conversion was 904,000, and I've put a lot into this one as well, so I'm easily going to put this at 2 million. It could definitely be more than that, but I've changed this one more times than I can count. And when you see shiny rims like that, you just know that your bank account is going to get drained. So I've done all the interior. I've just made it look like Brian's again from the second Fast and Furious movie. This again, this is another Elegy that I had. This is to look like Fast and Furious again. Brian's one again. And this one was his one, I believe it was Fast and Furious 7. So that's lined up right next to that one. Same again, but I didn't put as much into this one because I bought this based and just made it like this straight away. So I'm only going to put this at 1.5 million, whereas that one I have put a lot more in. This is my agency. I bought this for fun Dr. Dre missions. This is valued at 2 million. This one is my auto shop. This is the La Mesa one, I've been told it is called. This is actually valued at 1,920,000. I have done some interior designing, as you can see, but I don't think it's been a crazy deal. I think it is just this crap. But I'm only gonna add another 400,000 to that because I don't think that's crazy. So we'll just put it at 2.3 mil. This is my arcade. This is actually valued at 1.875 million. I only really have it so I can do the Diamond Casino heist. I do that with my friends all the time. I do actually have friends. My viewers will tell you differently, mainly because there's only 4 or 5 at the minute, but I'm happy. This is almost as worth as much as my arcade is. This is the Master Control Terminal. This is 1.74 million. This is so I can do all my business stuff from here. I don't have to go to each individual warehouse to source something, because that is just a waste of fucking time. I also have a terabyte, which you can see. That is valued at 1.375 million. Yeah, very useful. And then I also have the Acid Lab, which it costs only about 750,000. It's not the greatest thing, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is my Arena Workshop. These cost only 995,000. I say only. Honestly, I only ever used it to store stuff or to get fancy coloured lights on my cars. That's how stinky rich I am. Just to change the headlights on some of the cars. Now we get to the interesting stuff with the Batman car, the Vigilante. I bought it for 3.75 million, which is kind of ridiculous, but it hasn't got jack shit on this thing, okay? Batman, meet Robin. This is the Toreador. You should know this. This is another one valued at 3.66 million. This car is actually valued at 2.13 million, but I've done a lot of upgrades on it, giving it the mounted gun and the fucking swirly spike strip, and there's saws on the side, there's all that shit, saw on the back. I did put a lot into it, so this is easily a 3 million car. Easily. This is the Duke of Death. It was free for me, but it does cost 665,000. Yeah, it was free because of course returning player. We're in my nightclub right now. Scramjet is actually valued at 3.4 million as well, which is crazy. See, I've completely bedazzled this place, as you can see. I have done every upgrade you can see. Having a look at it, I've spent roughly 2.5 million on upgrades. I still need to do the security one, but it's not really that big of an issue because I don't let the stock get massive anyway, and it's just not needed in the nightclub as much. This is my Polito Bay facility. I'm not going to go all the way up there because there's honestly nothing in there. It's just a fancy office. This is actually valued at 1.2 million. I bought it as the cheapest one so that I could do the Doomsday heist, but the Doomsday heist wasn't all that fun, so I just don't use it anymore. But this lockup costed 975,000. This lockup costed about 715,000, and this lockup costed 910,000. Now, I've already done the upgrades for this one, the meth lab, so yeah, we can add that up. And then back to the weed farm again, we can add that up, and back to the lockup again, or the cocaine lockup, we can add that up. This warehouse costed me 1.5 million on the dot, and I put 300,000 into renovations. This one was marketed at 250,000, and this one is 1.9 million. Now, I'm not even sure what the total value is. I'm going to be adding this up later, but I'm going to put the lump sum right here. And I already know that's a stinky amount, and I should get a life, but it makes for good content, so there you go.